It's been a while since I've posted one of these YouTube videos, but there's been so many that I want to post. I just keep forgetting and getting absorbed into other things. I'm probably going to cover two things in this one, then cut it and make it into two separate videos. First topic is about objectification, and the second topic is about Stockholm Syndrome. So, starting with objectification, they're unrelated. I'm not going to relate the two topics. A argument I often hear, or like a response I often come across, whether on the media or in real life situations or conversations, is or even in posts, in like memes or something, it would be like, this woman is objectifying herself, so she's asking for others to objectify her too. Or, why shouldn't I objectify this woman? She's already doing it to herself. I think you get what I'm saying. So, like, that is all of the point of like what is usually being said, is that like this person is doing that onto oneself, therefore I can do it too, or should do it too, or why should I not do it too? And this, like, I've had this response to this way of thinking for a long time. I just never got it on video or wrote it out until recently I decided to do this. And it's that it's very interesting how people take a sentence and derive assumptions from it, other phrases from that initial phrase that don't actually stem from that phrase. So basically what we're saying is, imagine we're talking about the number 8. Okay, think of a mathematical tree. So like 8, what makes 8? 2 times 4, right? And then the 2, if you break it down again, it's 2 times 1, and then the 4, 2 times 2, and then each 2 times 1, 2 times 1. So like you're breaking down the components of 8, and every single one of those components factually belongs in the 8. What is happening with English terms is, you'll say a phrase, okay, let's say these are numbers, okay, it's a phrase, and there will be, like, in the tree of this phrase, phrases that don't come from that phrase. They don't belong there. It doesn't make sense that they are valid or sound or correct factual assumptions that come from just the truth of that phrase. And I think this is a perfect example. A woman objectifies or is objectifying herself. A woman, okay, let's say me, I know we haven't agreed on the definition of objectification, but just for the sake of the point of where I'm going with this, let's say we have the same understanding of what objectification is, and I'll give like a more a common example. Let's say I'm taking a photo right now, like this. Okay, so some people, let's say you agree and I agree, like, okay, let's say we have all agreed that this is objectification, like I'm objectifying myself. And it can be any example, like that doesn't matter. The point is that whatever you envision as objectification, think about that right now. And so all that phrase would mean is simply that that person is doing that. The tree of that phrase is simply that, whatever the definition of objectification is, and that person is doing that onto that person. So like X times objectification, and let's say objectification is 1, right? So X times 1 is just X. It's still X. There's no other variables there. There's no someone else in this equation. This equation simply includes one subject, me objectifying myself. There is no room for anyone else. So in that phrase, unless that phrase is followed by, and she has vocalized that she allows others to objectify her, then that is not the assumption. Unless I literally said, I am objectifying myself, and I now invite you or want you to objectify me too, go ahead, for 30 minutes or whatever. then that's not the assumption. Unless I literally say that, because there is no place in the initial phrase of I objectify myself. There's zero room for anyone else to objectify me. That's between me and myself. That's like someone saying, okay, if this person sits with themselves and writes about their fantasies or something, and they do that with themselves. So this person sits and writes about their fantasies with themselves. So then the next assumption is, oh, so then why can't I write fantasies about them too? Huh? Like, it's just unrelated. Like, I just don't get it. So that's the first topic that I wanted to cover. I hope it's clear enough. If not, write something in the comments and we'll engage about this topic. The second